you can find them on YouTube as well as on our GitHub. And again, if you haven't yet, fill out the attendance at acm@uc.org/c. Our mission is to encourage professionalism among tech enthusiasts in a collaborative fashion by facilitating learning beyond the scope of classrooms to develop innovative and inclusive ideas. And so that in short, we just kind of want to help you guys learn things that you wouldn't generally learn in classrooms and develop skills that aren't taught in our classes. And that's why we have these meetings. What is ACM at UC? This is like our second to last meeting of this year. So hopefully everyone knows what ACM is by this point, but essentially we're the student chapter of Association for Computer Machinery. We do events, we have guest speakers and panels at a general body meeting. Like today we have Kunal talking, and then we also do ICPC, Revolution UC. We do socials and review sessions. We also have a Slack, Discord. We also record our meeting minutes and also host office hours. To be a member, you only have to attend 2 meetings. That's it. That's all you need to be a member of ACM at UC. You don't need to pay any ACM national fees. And what being a member means is that at the end of the year, you get to vote for our next exec, as well as you can be nominated and also run for exec yourself. So we will be having elections soon in the next month. So be on the lookout for those updates. Speaking of, we will be taking nominations starting the March 31st meeting. So the next week will be when we start taking nominations. And then April 14th will be the meeting when we have elections. So if you are interested in running, this is the time to reach out to our current exec board, kind of ask them questions of what those positions look like that you're interested in. Definitely don't be overwhelmed or think like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm capable to be an exec. You've attended meetings, you're part of ACM. We love you in ACM. So definitely think about applying or running for exec, or at least reach out to people so you kind of get an understanding of what those responsibilities look like. I hope all the current exec, including me, can say that this has been a super fun experience. And hopefully that's what they tell you as well. And no one says like, oh, this has been terrible. But code of conduct, something super simple, be cool, be nice to everyone. And you can read more about it at acm@uc.org/conduct. Oh, I don't know why that's like. Academic services, we also do programming review sessions. Like last semester, we did a Python review session because a lot of people take intro to Python as well as that start in ENET. And we also do ops hours where we review for test homeworks. You can show up your code or hang out. They are on Discord and sometimes in our offstat roads 802. ICPC is essentially just a competition for people who love lead code. It's like very data structures and algorithm based competition. So if you're interested in joining a team or volunteering, let us know. Registration information still TBA. And then ACM's community server is built thanks to our Vice President Piyush. We're kind of preparing it more for general body, but hopefully you should hear more about it by the end of this year or early next year, or like early next academic year. If you aren't yet on Slack, definitely be on Slack as well as on Discord, because that's the best way to get updates from us, getting to know about this meeting, getting to know about our socials, or just like other opportunities that come by us. We usually just post it on our Slack and Discord. So definitely stay on both of these platforms to stay updated with us. And other resources, you can check out acm@uc.org/archive/resources. Join our listserv as well. That's another way to get our updates. And also these meetings are updated or uploaded on YouTube. And because we were running late, I kind of rushed through it. So without further ado, our talk on Intro to Web3 and Metaverse by Kunal. Hi.
So I hope everyone is doing good. I hope everyone had a fun spring break. And what?
I did not have.
You did not have? Yeah, well, you're on co-op, that's why. My name is Kunal, and today I'm going to be talking about some Web3 and Metaverse concepts. A bit about me. I'm a fourth-year computer science major, minor in psychology. I'm actually currently working part-time with the crypto economics lab at UC, which is going to be opened in fall. with the College of Business. And before I start, I also want to say that I'm only going to be talking about concepts. I'm going to be discussing what NFTs, Metaverse, all those concepts are, but I'm not giving any indication as to whether they are the future or not. There's no advice in this meeting. And feel free to stop me in between and ask any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. So let's get into it. So the current iteration of the web that we are on is Web 2.0. Web 2.0 was more interactive than Web 1, but it's really centralized. The current web is owned by a few select companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook. That's why you see so many targeted ads. That's why you get so many targeted websites. Even like recently, we know that Siri, Google Home, and Alexa also listen in to what you're saying at times and give you recommendations based on that. And that posed to be a huge problem. So that's why the concept of Web3 was developed as soon as blockchain or Bitcoin came into existence. Web3 is an idea, a new iteration for the world web based on blockchain, which incorporates concepts such as decentralization and token-based economics. Now, I'll go into what decentralization is in a bit when I talk about blockchain. Token-based economics is basically an economy where you use a certain material to earn something. So like, for example, to get a Nintendo Switch, you need to have $300. So that is a token. The US dollar is a token that you're using to get something, to earn something. So that's why token-based economics is basically all the economy that we're in. Web3 is also a reaction to our social networks not keeping our data secure. As I mentioned, they're targeting us with ads based on our private data and selling it for their own profit. And it's also a way for artists and creators to not only own what they produce on the platform, but the platform itself. Like NFTs, which I will get into in a bit, like NFTs are owned by the artists themselves, which they can sell for a complete profit. Like whatever they make will be their profit, and no companies will own any of it. As I mentioned, no one owns the internet in Web3 model. I don't know how many of you have seen Silicon Valley. But in Silicon Valley, a concept was introduced about decentralized internet, which was peer-to-peer internet based on mobile phones. So the network was created with the mobile phones acting as the servers. And so information was transferred from one phone to another and not from a centralized servers like Google or Facebook databases. That being said, the concept of Web3 is still very vague and confusing because we still haven't completely understood Web 2. Some problems in Web 3 involve scalability. As I mentioned, all transactions need to be processed peer-to-peer. That takes a lot of time. And user experience. Because we have wallets coming in, Web 3 technologies coming in, there's a steep learning curve associated with them. And we already have seen that a lot of the world does not have access to the internet. That's why the third problem is accessibility. Most of the world still doesn't have good access to the internet. They don't even know what Web 2.0 is or how to use it properly. And thinking about Web 3 is too far into the future at this point. And for example, Elon Musk's Starlink is still trying to provide Web 1 and Web 2.0 connectivity to other parts of the world, like in Ukraine we saw recently. And with even that being a barrier, Web 3 is something that's only been researched and just developed in companies and not actually used on. So cryptocurrencies. What are cryptocurrencies? They are basically a medium of exchange that is digital, encrypted, and decentralized. Decentralized basically just means that they're not owned by anyone. No central authority that manages and maintains the value of a cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin and all the other altcoins, Ethereum, Ripple, and all the other coins, they don't have something like gold that actually gives them their value. It's all because of what their application is that gets them their value. No central thing is actually manipulating their value. So with this, I also wanted to mention that I'm going to go a bit into what actually a store of value actually is. A store of value is essentially an asset or a currency that can be saved, retrieved, and exchanged in the future without deteriorating in value. Which means gold, for example, no matter what happens to the US dollar, the value of gold does not go up and down. It will stay the same because that's a store of value. The value of the US dollar is based on the value of gold. So Bitcoin technically has no real applications in the crypto market. It doesn't have any particular technology, but as it was the first coin to be introduced and the most famous, it is gonna be a store of value for other cryptocurrencies. It's helping set the values of other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum and Ripple. And a fun fact, actually, in 2021, Visa moved about $10.4 trillion in payment volume. Ethereum moved 11.6 trillion. This means that cryptocurrencies are already taking over like the transaction volume that Visa and MasterCard have faced, and they're doing it with very huge efficiency. Now, a lot of questions arise about crypto, especially regarding its volatility. We all know it's very volatile. I gave the same presentation last week, and Ethereum was about 2,500, and now it's above 3,100. So we can see how volatile it is. And it also has to do because it's a new thing. Like cryptocurrencies is still very new. People don't understand what it is. And that gives it a lot of volatility. And again, there's no store of value to measure it against. US dollar has gold, cryptocurrency has not. So in the future, to actually get a bit more stability regarding cryptocurrencies, there are two major things that need to happen. First of all, most of the current cryptos are on a proof of work model, which means they need to be mined, they need hardware. But a lot of them are actually moving to more sustainable models like proof of stake, which is like, it is pooled by all the owners of that crypto and the decisions are made by them. This is good because like, for example, Tesla was accepting Bitcoin for a small amount of time for Teslas, buying Teslas, but they changed they changed it because Bitcoin is not environmentally friendly. It actually is very it impacts the environment a lot. But if Bitcoin was to move to a proof of stake model, that environmental consumption is much less than what Visa or MasterCard does right now. Like even Ripple is actually the most efficient crypto in the world, like less than 0.0079 kilowatt hour. And the other big thing that needs to be there for a bit more stability is crypto regulations. US is one of the biggest players in crypto, but the only country that doesn't have any regulations yet on crypto. And because US is a money maker and mover, if they set regulations, then there will be a bit more stability in the crypto market because people will actually know what will happen if they hold it, for example. Any questions so far? So the technology behind cryptocurrencies is blockchain. Blockchain is not to be confused with crypto because I know people use them interchangeably, but they're completely different. Blockchain is basically something that stores information electronically in a digital format. And they're very crucial and they're the latest technologies to emerge because they maintain a secure and decentralized record of transactions, which means that no one can change them. No one can change any information that is stored on a blockchain once it's pushed there. So that makes it very secure, and anyone who tries to access it cannot change it. And it facilitates the process of recording transactions, as I mentioned, and tracking assets in a business network. Now, assets can be anything. It can be tangible, like a house, a car, land, etc., or intangible, like intellectual property, patents, copyrights, branding. Anything of value can be tracked and traded on a blockchain network, reducing risk and cutting costs for all involved. A blockchain network can also track orders, payments, accounts, production, and much more. And because all members share like a single value, like they see only a particular thing, it cannot be changed. They can see all details of a transactions end to end. Now I can actually show it to you. Like for example, so Etherscan, for example, it is a blockchain explorer for the Ethereum network. This website will allow you to search all transactions, blocks, wallet addresses, smart contracts, and other on-chain data. So basically, once something is pushed on the blockchain, it is public knowledge. The record always exists. of whatever you do. And if you want, you can like try moving, say like money from one wallet to another. It will give you a hash. You put the hash here, like in the search address bar, and it will show you like all the details regarding it publicly. But it doesn't go into like particular details, like, you know, like it doesn't show what exactly it's for, but it will show you the amount that was being transferred and how much was also used by the network in gas fees. Yeah.
Kind of a silly question. What happens if the records become really big, like, you know, too big to fit or like pay, or there's like an overflow or something like that?
That is a good question. So like, do you just mean like?
Yeah, like there's so many transactions.
Okay, yeah.
Well, also just over time, yeah, we just keep building up infinitely.
Okay, so if you're talking about that one transaction is really big, like if one particular transaction is too big, so all blockchain networks actually do, there's a reason it's called blockchain because they do everything in blocks, and the blocks is like a particular size limit. So if a transaction goes over that size limit, it will go into another block. But all those blocks are chained together. Like it's an irreversible chain and one after the other, and it's immutable. It will be stored on the blockchain. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but what happens if there's so many blocks?
So for now, we don't know the limit yet, but as I mentioned, Ethereum already moved $11.6 trillion, more than Visa did in 2021, with great efficiency. The reason for that is also because it's decentralized. Again, in Visa, they need servers, right? But for us, for cryptocurrency or blockchain, it's happening peer-to-peer. Like it's using, like everything is stored in like a cold storage. By cold storage, that means like no one can access it except it's you. So for example, you have a wallet. If you have a wallet, it will be with you only, and no one, even not even the company, can access it. There are very famous wallets called ledger wallets, which you just plug in with your USB, and you can store your crypto on there and transfer it, use it for transactions. But if you lose that USB, all your crypto is lost. Like there's no way you can get it back. So does that make sense? Okay. So yeah, actually I was gonna go into that. Like how does blockchain actually work? As each transaction occurs, it is recorded as a block of data. Each block is connected to the ones before and after it to create a chain. And they're blocked together in an irreversible chain, which is called a blockchain. Now, some key elements, and like as I talked about, were distributed ledger technology, immutable records, and smart contracts I'm gonna get into in a bit, because they are probably the biggest application of blockchain technology. And benefits greater trust, confidentiality, accurate and timely data. Because everything is on the blockchain and it's public knowledge, you don't need time to access it because like it's already there. The data is already there. You just need to like use the address to access it, access the transaction, but like you don't have to go through a third-party source to actually like get the knowledge. Like for insurance companies, like instead of going to insurance companies to get the data on what happened and claiming the insurance and everything, with smart contracts, everything will be executed immediately as soon as you enter the data. Go on.
What's actually stored on, like you mentioned, the USB? Like, what do you actually have that's proof that you're the owner of the crypto?
Okay. So Ledger wallets, the first time setup for a Ledger wallet gives you like, it's called an identity pair. So like they will give you 16 random words, which you need to keep with you. Like you need to remember them or store it somewhere safe.
Oh, okay, so it's like those recovery codes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you need that, or else you could lose everything. And they are hardware wallets. There are also like online wallets like Coinbase. Robinhood launched a wallet recently, MetaMask, and then so like there are different types of wallets with different levels of security. The most secure is the Ledger one because it's cold storage. Only you have it, and you have like an address that only you have. And that's the address you use to send to people. One of them is a public address, one of them is a private address. That private address is the proof that you own it, and you should not give that to anyone. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I kind of figured it's like
Yeah.
public key, private key.
Yeah. Okay. So, smart contracts. So, smart contracts is basically code. They're basically code that gets, when deployed to a blockchain, it gets executed without intervention from third parties. It determines how it responds to input, basically like the code of any program you write. And the good thing is like they can be hybrid, which means they can connect to real world data through something called data feeds. And that's why it makes them really powerful, because they can be executed immediately. I'll give you an example. Terrible example, but very easy to understand. Life insurance. Someone passes away. Now, to make a claim to get the life insurance back, the money, you have to make a claim in the company. It takes time for them to process it. They'll ask for proof, and then they'll get back to you whether it's legit or not, or whatever. Basically, it's like too much time, such a time-consuming process. Plus, it can also have human error and manipulation, you know. But if they create a smart contract that's already on the blockchain, that says like if someone provides proof that someone is dead, basically a death certificate. As soon as they upload the data to the smart contract, it gets executed immediately. The money is instantly transferred. So that happens in a matter of seconds rather than days and maybe months. Now, how is it beneficial to the insurance company? Now, it lowers the cost for the insurance company as well, because they can lower their premiums and opens a bigger market for them. This is also making it more accessible for people to actually get that insurance. Because no one can change it. Plus, like, death insurance is a valid proof for something like that. So making it automated definitely helps them save money. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions regarding smart contracts? Yeah.
So smart contracts are like real world contract, but instead of executed by lawyer, now it's executed by some machine, so it's automated and like unchangeable.
Yeah, so basically they just wait for an input, right? The input in my case, in my example, was a death certificate, right? But like they just wait for an input, and as soon as they get the input, they get executed immediately.
Are they stored as another block on the chain?
Yeah, so they're stored on, so as soon as you push the code to the blockchain, no one can access that code, no one can change it, it's frozen there. That's why blockchain is decentralized, it's cold storage basically. So once it's on the blockchain and you input the data, then it gets executed and you get the money back immediately.
So there would be one transaction for each person who's purchased life insurance?
Yeah, and you can also automate the process of creating smart contracts as soon as someone basically opens an account with you or something, because all you need is their information, right? Another example, good example would be travel insurance. And if you're traveling in a plane, but the plane gets canceled because of weather, but you have travel insurance, all you need is data from the airline or their website that it was canceled, and you can just put it in a smart contract and get your money back immediately. So like smart contracts provide a lot of value in automating actions like that with proof and also executing it immediately, which reduces a lot of time and money for both parties involved. I mean, an example of a smart contract is displayed here. It's basically similar to any other programming language. The most popular language for writing smart contracts is Solidity. It's written in Ethereum, and instead of it being called an object-oriented language, it's called a contract-oriented language. It allows you to create any type of smart contract. Like you can even create smart contracts in your browser using an IDE called Remix. And that's a topic for another day, but it's not really hard to do that. So if anyone has any interest in learning how to create a smart contract and actually using test Ethereum for that, just hit me up after this meeting. Now we get into the fun stuff. So Web3 Wallet. A Web3 wallet is a tool for accessing the Web 3.0 economy. It basically is something that lets you get like buy NFTs or like access the metaverse or something you need like to buy immediately on the web. Some examples of Web3 wallets are MetaMask, Coinbase, Ledger Hardware, as I mentioned before. MetaMask is basically a browser plugin. You can find it in the like plugin stores of your browsers. And that also is also cold storage. Like they will also give you like a key identity. And if you lose that, you lose the like data there. Basically, it's non-custodial. You can store digital assets securely without needing to trust a third party. And like the term I was using, the 16 words and everything, is called a recovery seed. Did anyone have any questions? So, and using those Web3 wallets, you can connect to websites like OpenSea, which sell NFTs, and use the MetaMask wallet to buy NFTs on that website. MetaMask can help you store anything like Ethereum, Ripple, anything you hold. Even they have test networks, which like I use for like I need test Ethereum, which is like free to get. It has no real value, but you can use it for creating smart contracts because each smart contract uses a little bit of Ethereum. And because smart contracts are built on Ethereum. Oh. So does anyone know about NFTs or can explain to me what an NFT actually is? Yeah.
Really need to know about this discussion. It's like it sits on the blockchain and it's like a certificate that says that you own this thing. Basically.
Okay.
You own some digital asset.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone know? Yeah, sorry, Dave.
I think it's something like when you purchase something, there's a transaction for it, which is unique in the entire blockchain. So that kind of certifies that product, like you own it, it's unique. Like that.
So you're saying the address or the transaction hash you get is unique?
No, like the transaction that you make for something that lives on the blockchain, it's unique. So that somehow gives it its uniqueness.
Yeah, both of you are actually right. But to delve into a bit more detail, fungible tokens are cryptocurrencies. Fungible tokens are basically stuff that is interchangeable, which means you can have multiple Bitcoins, same thing. Multiple Ethereum coins, same thing. They're also divisible. Like Ethereum has smaller units like Wei and stuff like that. And they're uniform, basically same value, each of them. But non-fungible tokens, as you mentioned, they're unique. So yeah, they're non-interchangeable. Like each one of these, there will not be another one that's the same. Like, I mean, every little detail. Like there might be another one which has the background blue in this ghost. Like that is a different NFT. The bottom right one is a CryptoPunk, which is probably the most original NFTs created in Ethereum like 5-6 years back. That one sold for $24 million or something. But they also have cheaper ones, which are like human and like more common, and those sell for thousands of dollars. Yeah. So what makes, and I mean, you can literally like take pictures, but you don't own them. What makes it unique is that they give you the address that lives on the blockchain. So I'll give you another example. Music artists, Spotify. A lot of artists on Spotify make like less than a penny for, and even, yeah, much lesser than that for every play of their song. But if they sold their song as NFTs, which means people own unique copies of it, they make much more money. And in that way, that's like NFTs are also a way to support like creators and artists like from all levels. Because, yeah, go on.
Why do people look at it?
Well, there's see, I'm not gonna give advice on whether this is the future or not, but I'm just gonna say a lot of things are run by hype. So CryptoPunks are owned by a lot of famous people. And if something is owned by famous people, other people want to get in on it. And the price automatically rises, you know? Like Elon Musk will tweet about Dogecoin, it will rise. Famous people. They can manipulate a little on their own.
They're not buying the Mona Lisa.
Huh?
They're not buying the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. And yeah, Mona Lisa, that is another good example. That is a physical art form which people might like to collect, but there's only one available of that. Plus, like Mona Lisa is made by like a really famous artist. But NFTs gives chance for smaller artists to bring up with their. I think this was bought by my coworker, the Ghost one for like $60. So like even small artists can come up with their NFT collection or like their own artwork and sell it. Yeah, and they're unique and non-divisible. Like there's no way you can divide an NFT. Yeah.
So the NFT is like tied to this unique token, like that represents the transaction, I guess. What's the point of the art? Like, what's the point of the actual?
Because you can have millions of copies of it. You mean?
Well, right. I guess like I'm not understanding because you're saying that like I guess that whatever it is like tied to some unique token that's just yours.
Yeah.
Purchase it or whatever. What makes why is the image attached to it? Like just for hype? Like just to make it?
That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
like how do they verify that like someone else hasn't sold an NFT that's tied to the same image?
You can resell an NFT, but again, there's only one copy. You can sell the same
Like
copy.
they sell a different token.
Yeah, a different token about the same.
It's still tied to the same.
Right.
Oh, then you open up legal copyright issues and like lawyers. That's another reason why I mentioned lack of crypto regulation in the US is a huge problem. Other countries, especially in Europe, have some crypto regulation already, which mitigate all of this. And like, yeah, so does that answer your question?
Pretty much.
But yeah, like the top left one, that's an NFT I got just for watching Batman. And Piyush also got one, but it's different than mine. So like, and they gave us an address and everything to show. And that address takes us to the Etherscan, what I showed before, where you can check the transaction. So like, it's basically public knowledge also. That's why like, it's really hard to replicate an NFT without going through legal issues.
So really the only thing that's truly unique is the address.
Yes.
But the image itself is just unique by legal standards. Like it ought to be by association. Right.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm not like, and NFTs are very much in hype, but if you see the recent trends, their hype has pretty much gone down a lot compared to cryptos in general.
You can sell like anything, right? You can say like, oh, here's the NFT
Yeah.
and you now own the dab or something.
You can even sell, I'll be back. CryptoPunks also have fractional shares. So a lot of people can pool in together to buy one CryptoPunk. So like, it's basically it's delving into like a stock market, crypto market kind of thing, where you can buy stuff. Like they have like their own trading funds on Coinbase, like CryptoPunks. So yeah, those kind of things are existing. People are using NFTs as a way to trade and make money also, like constant trading them. So Yeah, that's why I said like it's very much hype right now. So I'm not. Yeah.
And there was a celebrity who sold a game of golf with them as an NFT. You buy the NFT, you can like hang out with them, you can play golf.
Well, I don't know if you know, but our football player Desmond Ritter sold his NFTs. He has his own NFT, which sold. I don't know how much, not too much, obviously, but yeah. Sorry, you had a question.
Like, what makes the value like go up and down so much? Like, I mean, like with the stock market, like a company values, what makes the NFTs?
Again, pretty much hype.
Human desire.
Like I mentioned, if a famous person is associated with it, CryptoPunks were also like the first NFTs ever created, the first NFT collection. So that's why their value is really high because people want to own the first of something. You know, if like yeah, sorry.
But still, like, how do the prices actually fluctuate? Like, stock market, we understand it's.
Oh,
buy and
okay.
sell, you know?
If you go on OpenSea and you pick an NFT, if it's really popular, auction, yeah, you'll see bids on it basically. People bid on NFTs. I'm pretty sure there's going to be auction houses selling them soon. Yeah.
Let's say if I went and found an NFT and I right-clicked it and I decided to make an NFT of that NFT and I decided to say, you know, this is totally not original. This is like buying food-like goods. I'm trying to emulate the aesthetic of buying food-like goods. And then someone buys it. Does the maker of the original NFT have any way to stop me?
You're again legal issues.
Congratulations.
Yeah, if you sell on the black market, then you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll open yourself up to legal issues if that maker figures it out. But if it's like a very and also like I don't remember, but like common things like GIFs that everyone uses, some people made them as NFTs, and the first one that made them as NFTs made a lot of money. So if you also have to be the first.
You like, since you said that if open people are featured pricing for like legal issues and everything, can you like allow people the right to use the NFT at a certain cost?
What, like, so resell it as a certain?
No, not sell it. Like, let's say let's say you own something and I want to like use one of your NFTs in like my slide, and I want to do it like legally, right? Can I like pay you money and then you use?
What do you mean legal? Like this is like I can copy paste the pictures without any problems.
They own the address now.
The problem is selling them. Like if you're making money off of something that's owned by someone else, that's the problem.
I was thinking, you know how like music, you can't have music on like YouTube, right? And like it'll like have music from other artists, but if you get permission from those artists to use it, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Or you can like pay them and you can use it, but they still own it, kind of thing.
That's because you're potentially using their music for entertainment and like some entertainment that you're profiting off of. So like
Yeah, and also YouTube, you profit, right? You make
That's
money.
what I'm saying is like, that's if this presentation is like paid or something, and you're like making money off like, oh, come see like the top 10 NFTs of all time or something.
Yeah, if it's public knowledge, then I can use them. If not, then yeah, then you need permission. A lot of people have also made a lot of mistakes. If you like OpenSea or something and someone I think sold a CryptoPunk worth millions of dollars for less than hundreds. Made a mistake on the decimal. So, and once you sell it, you cannot have it back. There's no way because you gave the address. The address has changed.
unless the other person wants to resell you, right?
For
Yeah.
or you can, yeah. Sorry, what?
I've heard also that OpenSea has had to take down NFTs that were made by people without their consent before, like their profile pictures and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, again, this is a new space. There's going to be issues with it. Also, another thing to keep in mind regarding NFTs is that if you go and buy one, be sure to check the gas fees at that time. Gas fees is basically the volume that's being processed by that network at that time. And if the volume is high, the gas fee is going to be high. Like, for example, my coworker, the NFT value was fixed at 60. But at one moment in time, he was checking to buy it, the gas fees were 140. So total would be 200. But the next day, or like if you chose a lower like volume time, he got it for like 70 or 80. Like, gas fees like are very like a huge pain. Any other questions or comments regarding NFTs? Oh, sorry.
Is the gas fee also going to like the person who owns it?
No, it's going to the network.
Like, so who's acting like gas fee?
All OpenSea, like the third-party medium. Yeah. OpenSea is one of the more common NFT marketplaces, but yeah, if I get some time, I'll show you something in the metaverse.
When are you releasing your NFT?
No, man. No one will buy.
You're saying someone can buy the ownership of Kunal? Wow.
I'll give one to everyone for free. Yeah. Does anyone have any idea what the metaverse is? It's where everyone is getting married. Not untrue. People have. I know an Indian couple that got married in the metaverse and invited people in the metaverse, which is both a good and a bad idea, I feel. But yeah, like you save money, but at the same time, you don't have any like. Where are the people, man, at your marriage? But yeah, so it is a virtual reality space, and users can interact with a computer-generated environment and other users. What I can do if the Wi-Fi is fast enough.
It's like a VR simulation of how it goes.
Yeah, so Decentraland is, yeah, kind of, but it's owned by people, not any company. And you can basically do anything you want. So this is Decentraland. This is the first fully decentralized world. And you can buy and sell land here, estates, avatar variables. You can even change your names. But the good thing is, and you can all try it if you want, is like the first thing is play using your wallet. It will connect to your MetaMask account if it's in the browser already. And that will be used to, if you want to buy or sell land or anything. But you can just play as a guest. You can, this website is very slow. You can just play as a guest and explore the area and see what it is. You can go into art galleries in the metaverse and look at NFTs as like an art museum and click on which one to buy. You can go into Adidas showroom, look at shoes, click the one you like, go to the website to buy them. You can go into like a cloth shop, like Forever 21 or something, and then like see what you like, go to the website and buy it. So Metaverse is basically an all-inclusive world that resembles the real world. If anyone has seen Ready Player One, because I want to explain it. So, oh my God. Oh, yeah. Oh, I just have one slide after this. Yeah. And then, and to answer a question, Piyush, that is taken place by a DAO process. Um, this is the Sandbox map. The Sandbox is another metaverse, and this is where like a lot of high-profile companies and people have land. Just a year back, the land was costing like hundreds of dollars for one small plot. Now it costs at least 13. And as you can see, you see Atari. I know Snoop Dogg has land. Dead Mouse, like a lot of people, Binance and everyone. The other good fun thing about this is that people want to own land. People want to live near stuff, for example. So that's why like Metaverse is also like trending really. Like I see Atari Roller Coaster Tycoon. Uh, can you shoot? Yeah. So, Piyush, to answer your question, decentralized is basically a DAO. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. A DAO is an organization represented by rules, um, but it's influenced by a central authority, which means if you own their native token Mana, you're automatically added to their decentralized autonomous organization, and you will have equal say in voting on what happens. If you want to add a piece of land, if you want to add a big avatar, if you want to make any small or big skill changes, like if you want to remove someone, for example, it's like a whole voting process. And they own the most important smart contracts and land. Uh, you're in control of the policies, as I mentioned, and you and vote on the scripting. Uh, Bitcoin actually is has programmed functions autonomously and is coordinated for the which is nobody knows group that's but it's still owned by no one can even edit their rules without people noticing because DAOs are transparent and public. No managers are needed, thus removing any bureaucracy or hierarchy. You can, like, for example, can you even imagine being an owner of an artist's song? So a DAO called Jenny DAO acquired which was original song by Steve Aoki and Cloud, and they basically now have a song and yeah. So does that answer your question, Piyush, about who controls decent? And then some no-code platforms like Aragon and DAO help in creating your own. Now these concepts are a bit hard to grasp, and I want to talk like I know have been a bit regarding this topic that you see which you can use. Like there are classes that you see. I know engineering and law are working together with a blockchain certificate. I personally took last semester, which is why I got really interested. There's a UC cryptocurrency club. And crypto economic lab is opening up in fall. We're going to be working with companies in this space. And we will probably host a few events. On Wednesday, April 6th, there's a Web3 day. There's a, like, on Wednesday, April 6th, UC is hosting a Web3 day in conjunction with Lindner. And on that day, like we're basically like from morning till evening, we're going to be doing all three Web3 MetaMask and like DAOs and everything. So in the morning, there's probably going to be a workshop from like 9 to 11 regarding how to create your first web wallet, how to actually use that web wallet, and using a DAO no-code platform like Aragon or DAO House, you actually join it and see how the voting process works. You will actually, it will be more hands-on and it will be over 2 hours long. And then we'll talk a little bit about how DAOs work in Metaverse, especially in decentralized. That same day, we have a Web3 panel, which is on the next slide, and also a talk on demystifying DeFi. DeFi is decentralized finance, and how like it's basically focused on the more business side of things regarding that. The sign up links will be in the slides that ACM uploads, but also you can contact me. This is the panel I was talking about. That is my professor, Michael Jones. And we have Director of Athletics, John Cunningham, Design Officer from Procter & Gamble, and Sarah Seeley, who is an author and has I think a blog or something based on completely on cryptos and NFTs. So she's very much in this space. So yeah. Thank you so much. I hope it was a good presentation and you actually enjoyed it and also learned something new. If you have any questions, I'll be around after the meeting also. I know Josh wants to finish it. And then you can contact me. My email is there, Slack and Discord. And yeah, if you have want to know more about this space, any questions, even if you want to know more about the Web3 day, just contact me. So thank you.
Some people might not have gotten to ask all the questions.
Yeah.
So I'll close out real quick, and then if you have any more questions, feel free to stick around and ask Kunal. Let's see some from the chat had any questions. Oh yeah, also Lena's right. US currency hasn't been on gold standard since 30, 40 years.
Yeah, it's close to
But yeah, good point, Lena. Sorry we missed that before. But great presentation, Kunal. Thank you so much for presenting. If you want to see anything like this or any other ideas that you have that you want to see, feel free to come talk to us. Might be a little hard because we're towards the end of the semester, but we can definitely take notes and hopefully we can have something for the next year. Come join our sibling organization, ACMW, and then UC Women in Tech, ITSA. They was here a while ago. And then IEEE, they are also up to some great stuff. So definitely go follow them on social media and also attend their meetings. If you're interested in leading a talk or a workshop like Kunal did today, feel free to reach out to us. Again, might be a little hard because we're at the end of the semester, but still definitely do it. So we at least have you on our mind for next year. For our upcoming meetings, next meeting will be by Daniel on GANs. It's something that he's been researching on with his professor for his senior design as well as for his master's. And after that, we'll have the big elections meeting. Woohoo! Come get to know ACM members, especially right now since elections are coming up. If you have any questions, again, cannot emphasize this enough. If you have any questions about any position that you're interested in, this is the time to reach out to us. If you're not sure who to reach out to, just reach out to me and I can either give you the right information or direct you to the person or to the correct exec. Thank you so much for coming to ACM at UC's meeting. We only have 2 more meetings left. So again, for election purposes, if you haven't yet, and if you're late or something, definitely sign into acm@uc.org/c. It takes 5 seconds. I think we have a couple slices left. I can't see. So for whoever grabs them first wins, but Kunal will stick around for any more questions. Otherwise, everyone's free to leave. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you sticking around for 7 more minutes, and also with our difficulties with starting the meeting. Woo. Whoa, Daniel, what? I'm gonna stop the recording, but feel free to ask questions on anything.